So here we are, right outside Sydney Airport. That over there is the runway. Wait for the car to lock. There you go. And that's because I've got the key in my pocket. Let's don't mince words. I'm going to start with the market. At the moment, the Australian car market is down, way down on last year. Not only that, Holden is way down on last year. Last year it was 7.2%. This time, now it's a measly 5.2%. What can account for that? Well, look, honestly, I don't know, but at least the passenger car market is very depressed. So, where does that leave us? It leaves Holden in the position where they absolutely have to get their SUV right. So, what they've done is they've bought this fairly handsome beast in from America. They put a Holden badge on the front of a GMC car, and this is the first GMC that Holden have brought into the country. What do you think? It's got a fairly big, bold grille and a fairly high stance. This is a 7-seater car. 20-inch wheels. Now remember, wheels are part of your suspension system, and the bigger the wheel, the lower the profile. The lower the profile, the less you have between you and the road. Despite that, the ride in this is still pretty good. Big, bold mirrors, and in these mirrors are cameras. This has got 360-degree camera. And on that camera you can select which view you want, and it'll also come in when you get into a tight spot, so it turns itself on automatically. In the mirrors, of course, you've got your blind spot monitoring and a button on each of the doors to open and close the car. So if you press that now, because the key is in my pocket, it's opened and I can get in. See? Roof racks, standard. Now, it comes in 3 models, LT, LTZ, and this, the LTZ-V. So this one gets all of the stuff thrown at it, and it retails at the moment for $67,990. And that is a drive-away price. Holden have decided that on all Acadias, they'll do a drive-away price. And of course, it has a 5-year warranty. There's the neat little kick up here at the back, and you'll notice these 2 windows have privacy glass. So you can sit in the back and you can see out quite happily, but you can't see in. Well, it's very difficult to see in. To open the tailgate automatically, all you have to do is kick, but you have to kick about here, but on the other side. So I'll go around and do that. And when you do, it opens. The problem is that because you've got the spare seats in the back, that, let's face it, unless you're a really big family, are never going to get used. All of the space is taken up by about this much worth of seats. To put this down, you give that a yank, shove the seat down, and of course the headrests have to be folded forward in order for that to happen. There's plenty of room in this back seat, as you can see. So with me in the back, and I'll show you that in a tick, this is how much room is in the 3rd row. But the 3rd row is fairly well catered for. There's cup holders on both sides and little grab handles. There's also a USB charger and a place to tie up your shopping to. Plus, there's little bins. There's about 10 centimetres between my knee and the seat in front, so I could move this a little bit forward to give the 3rd row a little bit more space, but it's not enough to fit an adult in. It just isn't. And nothing Holden says is going to make any difference. But Holden's not alone, all of them are the same. This really weird trim, I just have no idea what it's meant to be. It's just a pattern on plastic, but it just looks nasty. But you do have bottle and cup holders for the 2nd row as well. All of the bits of the door that see a lot of wear are quite hard. That's one of the Bose speakers, and can I just say the sound is absolutely spectacular. The front seat is much better resolved. There is a whole lot of space. This is a really big car and I've got this seat set quite high. All of the instruments are laid out well, and the driver's panel has a large LCD screen right in the middle which comprises all of the speed information and fuel use and all of that sort of stuff. Plus you can have other information such as satellite navigation. We've got memory positions for the seats, door folding mirrors, mirror adjustment, window lock for the back doors and the windows. And down here you can see that you can adjust how far that back door opens. The steering wheel is well laid out and these buttons are really easy to use. On the back there are further buttons, indicators on the correct side for Australia, plus there's the automatic high beam assist button control. On the other side is the automatic wiper control. And this is the current iteration of Holden's entertainment system. The surround I think just looks a little bit cheap and nasty. But the buttons are clear and they do exactly what it says. You can also access the direct functions with the touchscreen, so you can go straight into navigation like so. It is a little bit slow to come up, but that's okay. This is the menu button and of course the home button. Down below, that's 2 of the 3 zones for the climate control air conditioning. Down below that is the pad to charge your phone wirelessly, and of course the gear selector with the manual up and down. Heat ventilation, so that's for cooling, and heat seating. Okay, I'm not sure why that's saying that. This does have a rear camera, but as you can see it's telling me to service the rear vision system. Okay, well we won't use that then. I suppose that's not a good thing to see on a video, but you know, hey ho. The 3.6 V6 is putting power to all 4 wheels via this 9-speed automatic transmission. It's incredibly smooth, incredibly smooth. There are a whole lot of modern conveniences too. You can, for example, with the drive control unit, you can switch between 2 and 4-wheel drive, and you can also, if you want, turn the sports mode on. I had it earlier in the park in sports mode, and it doesn't make a huge amount of difference to the drive, to be honest. The engine still has quite a lot of power. I'm actually going to switch this now up into 4-wheel drive. And the reason I'm doing that is there is quite a lot of torque, and if you've got it in 2-wheel drive, it really does get quite lively. The tyres try and chirp and the thing scrambles for grip, which it doesn't do if you've got it in all-wheel drive. There is absolutely no feeling in the steering whatsoever. I read in the bump that Holden gave me that they had this on the track at Lang Lang, and they had done between that and road testing 1.5 million kilometres. Because there is only one engine and transmission combination, I think Holden will miss out on a lot of sales. There are a few annoying little things. For example, I had the convenience set for entry and exit, so this seat slides backwards and out of the way so that I'm lower and down and I don't have to step out so far. Unfortunately, no matter what I did, even though I asked it to remember my position and I had it properly set, it just would not move back into the same spot. Also, the cruise control is radar cruise control, so it's smart cruise control. And what that does is uses the system to look for cars in the front and slow you down. And you can turn that off, so you can have just normal cruise control if you want. So I'm sitting now at 110, so I'm going to turn the cruise control on, and it's now active, and it's come up on the screen and it's told me that if I want to turn off the active cruise control, I just have to hit the control off button and hold it. There is a little wind noise. Above me is a roof rack. We've got things like semi-automated parking, these buttons down here, semi-automated parking, parking sensors, and lane control. So there are some active safety features. For example, the blind spot monitoring. If it detects somebody beside you and you try and change lanes, the car will steer you back into the lane, even if you've indicated. If you try and change lanes without indicating, the car will also try and steer you back into the lane. Like Equinox, there's haptic feedback in the seat, so it vibrates when you get close to things. So not only do you see the readouts and hear the buzzer, but you feel it in the seat. There's cool things like automatic headlights with automatic high beam. On the highway, this car sits beautifully, and I think that's probably what this is made for. Although we do have an off-road mode in the drive selector control. Let's see if I can get this back up to 100. I think it's going to be most happy on the highway. This top model, which is the LTZ-V all-wheel drive, is $67,990. And Holden are doing all of these cars with on-road pricing, which, in other words, drive-away pricing. My rating is 7 out of 10. But it is up against some luminaries. Kia Sorento sells very well in this segment. It's all-wheel drive, it's 7-seater, and it has a diesel option. This is Holden Acadia. You've seen my rating. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe.